and thanks for being here. As you can see from the title, what we do at Applied is to virtualize our client's machine, taking advantage of Unreal Engine that we like very much. What we aim is to cover with products and services the entire life cycle for the machine, from the design phase, before the machine is even built, to the typical after-sales activities such as user training. And today's presentation won't be highly technical, but if you have some technical questions here, we got Mario, Lorenzo, and Aldo that are the soul of and the technician of these solutions. And today, our aim is to share with you our vision and hopefully to stimulate an open discussion. We decided to use Unreal Engine because it was a technology we were familiar with and because it proved to be flexible and most of all, very, very powerful. We feel like we are in the middle of a journey, so to get optimal results, it will take some time, but here we go. So welcome, I am Francesco. I am a business developer from Applied. Applied is a group of Italian tech companies whose aim is to support the medium and big enterprises for the digital transformation. And Martina, Fabio, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hi all, Fabio, ICT Engineering Manager at IMA Group, and I love everything is three-dimensional.
Hi all, I'm Martina, and I am ICT Project Manager in IMA Group. IMA is a multinational company that design and manufacture automated packaging machines, recently also for automotive and e-mobility components.
Okay, thank you. So now we got the big picture slide of the machinery virtualization. What we learned from all this year on field experience made by success and failures is that the real value behind 3D technology in this particular field is the ability to unpack the virtual representation of the machine into single atomic reusable asset. So what we're trying to do here, you see the typical flow from planning phase to sales phase to after sales. What we're trying to do here is to preserve the value of this asset from the very beginning of the life cycle to the very end. And today, we have little time, so we're going to focus on virtual commissioning and virtual training. Virtual commissioning actually plays a very important role since it's the beginning of the whole process. So it's the moment where we create this value on these atomic assets. And before to start and get deeper, I would like to share with you a video of the ICT and Industry 4.0 Director at IMA Group, Mr. Pierluigi Vanti. And right after, Martina and Fabio will tell us about the IMA needs. We decided to engage with one of our biggest and most important clients because we're thinking that it was cool to let you know great well, so which are the needs, which is the impact our technology and solution had so far on the organization, and also the technological challenges they face every day. But let's listen to Mr. Vanti.
Hello. My name is Pierluigi Vanti. I'm responsible for the digital transformation in IMA Group. It's nice to be here to describe to you how digital technologies and especially the virtual technologies are helping IMA to maintain the leadership in his businesses. IMA is always been leader in pharmaceutical and consumer food markets. We decided to implement a lot of change transformations in our company, and we implement a lot of virtual technologies solution to support a lot of our processes, also our services, for instance, for marketing, for sales, also for industrial manufacturing, and also for design of new product. I'm proud to leave the floor to my colleagues and to our partner Applied, that they will show to you how we implemented in an example in a virtual commissioning project, an example of the adoption of the virtual technologies in the design of our machines and allow our technicians to test the machines in advance respect the production. Goodbye and have a nice event.
Okay, so Fabio and Martina, which are your needs? What do you perceive?
Okay. I can start from the fact that our machines are high-tech and highly customized. And this is the reason why we are competitive in the market. This opens the door to offering different types of services that are based on the virtualization of machines because give reliable results. Another needs come from customers because the digital maturity level of our clients is variable, but the others that are more evolved are pushing us, are asking for developing the solutions based on the interactive 3D and on the use of advisors for the augmented and virtual reality. And from the last point, we have also some customers that are beginning to use our machine in a machine as a service concept. That means that we sell our product, that is the automated machines, with a lot of services that are very important for our customers. That is a concept that until recently, for the world of the automated machines, was a taboo.
Yeah, about specific needs of virtual commissioning, time savings is always the key of our business, more time than price. And during the final testing of our physical machine at the end of our design, production, and assembling process, some errors can occur, forcing us to rebuild some components or correct quickly the machine control software with loss of time and quality. The traditional approach to the simulation in the design phase with independent platforms for every discipline, software, electrical, and mechanical, was no more efficient due to the increasing technology of our machines and to the growing importance of the control software part, and imposed us a paradigm shift. And a reliable digital twin, a part of our customers are digitally mature, and ask us an innovative approach since the beginning of the product development phase, especially the client of automotive and e-mobility sector that are a new business that we are approaching.
Okay. And
Okay, about virtual training, first of all, turnover. Times have changed, and now operators that work on our machines, operators of customers, have a very high level of turnover. And that means the fact that we need new learning tools that are able to support, to encourage the rotation of employees. Another point is cultural entry barriers. You can imagine how many nationalities, languages, skills have operators of our customers. And for this reason, we have to use a show-don't-tell approach in order to overcome these cultural barriers. Course quality uniformity, what means? That we need to ensure, to guarantee to our customer the quality of training content, the quality of our training in general. So we have not to depend from time, from space, and also from the presence or the level of presentation of the trainer. And as a last point, clients now, for the process of education of their employees, need a learning management system platform.
Okay, thank you very much. So in order to answer IMA's need, as I said before, we are in the middle of our journey. So, here on the right, you see a bunch of the different solutions we are doing. Basically, we are trying to create a suite of solutions that are interconnected among each other. And some of them can also talk to machine, like we're going to see in a few seconds. But everything really starts with the setup phase. So what we do is we take the CAD files, we import them, and we turn them Unreal friendly. Then we unpack the virtual representation of the machine into subcomponents, are the atomic elements I was talking before. And after that, we start with the connection phase. So what we do, we take these subcomponents and we give to them a logical meaning by associating variables. And after that, we take these subcomponents and we connect it to the PLC of the machine. If from how you doesn't know what is a PLC, is the intelligence of the machine, is where the machine receives all the instructions. And at this very point, we have a unique source of information and asset that we are able to reuse and combine together in order to support the development of every solution we are developing, the blue circle on the right. We are hardware agnostic, so basically you can run the solution on any device. It really depends on the scenario and the situation the operator is finding himself. And getting more specific about our solution on virtual commissioning, well, with Unreal, what we perceived, the point is, with virtual commissioning, you really need to test everything as much as possible, both from the hardware side to the software side. And with Unreal, we can put into the scene much more stuff, both for quantity and typology. We're going to see a video in a few seconds that going to show you, also give you some numbers. Before going to that, another cool thing is that most of the instruction the machine receives is from the PLC. But there are situations where we have the operator that have to interact with the HMI, the virtual interface of the machine, and physical components of the machine, like, for example, initial setup of the machine, changeover components, and this kind of thing. And with Unreal, we were able basically to replicate a situation very close to the real world. With traditional software, it was much more on a higher level, and it was a bit tricky. So the impact we had so far is really good. That's a video. This is an IMA automation machine, basically. It does, looks like a simple job, but it takes 3 components, plastic components. It basically put them together, form a cap that has been attached to a food and beverage packaging. And basically, here we got 3 components, the HMI, then we got the PLC, they are both for Schneider Electric, and then we have our computer with Unreal and the virtualization of the machine. The connection between the computer with Unreal and the PLC is done through TCP/IP protocol. And the cool thing is that the same PLC we are seeing here, after the simulation, we take it and we put into the real machine. To give you some numbers about performance, with traditional software, we're able to simulate up to 70, 80 caps per machine life cycle. But the nominal speed of the machine is 700 caps. And with Unreal, we were able to put all of them with no problem, no compromises. With the traditional software, it crashed the system with 70. Another cool thing is that this machine uses a camera to understand the right position of the caps. And there is a model that basically fixes it if it's not in the right position. Again, with traditional software, it was a lot of tricks in order to simulate a high level of abstraction. And here, we were able basically to replicate exactly as it is in the real world. And going forward, now focusing on the virtual training solution, remember what Martina was saying before, our main challenge we received from IMA, it wasn't technological, it was cultural. They work worldwide, they have to deal with a lot of cultures. There is a huge turnover on the operator because the labor market totally changed in the last year. So we needed a solution that was very intuitive. We decided to avoid any text, any voiceover. We focused just on the visuals. Another thing is, and this system we created basically is a asynchronous self-learning system. It works in 2 ways. The first one is guided, where the operator basically watch, learn, and get confident with the user interface. And then there is the unguided way, where the operator doesn't have any hints, any clue, he just has to do the stuff and test himself. Another thing that Martina was saying before is the connection through XAPI to the learning management system of IMA or IMA's client. This is crucial because it allows us to create dynamically the courses with much less effort. We were working on it, but the input we received so far are really good. And it's also cool because you can assess the trainee, and you don't have to create a new system. You basically integrate it to the LMS, and the organization doesn't have to learn a new system. It basically uses what it already knows. Last but not least, this is really cool, because you can connect the virtual system or training virtual system to the PLC of the machine. So the trainee, when interact with the system, basically have a system that responds and behaves exactly like it is the real machine. And this will let us to create courses that are much smarter, much more effective. This is our hope, naturally. This video, you see the training room at IMA. You will see that the experience is done through many different devices. You remember when I was talking before about these atomic elements we are trying to work on? Well, for courses, it's cool because at a lower level, we can reuse all the common part of the machine. As Martina and Fabio were saying before, they personalize a lot. That's why IMA is so competitive on the market. So we take what is common in every machine, and we can reuse them as much as we want. We create the new models when it's needed with the new machine personalized for the client. And this is true also on a higher level, on the course management. So also creating courses is much, much more faster. And that's all. So I'd like to now ask you, what are the impacts so far? Because I know, we talk about it naturally, but I know that there are pros and cons. Not everything is perfect. As I said before, it's a long journey. So please, tell us more.
Yeah, after the needs, there are the impacts, of course. And about virtual commissioning, the cons is more a challenge, is that the fact that we share in one platform the different disciplines of the design in certain phase of the process is not an easy thing about organization, because it's an occasion of growth for somebody, but not for everybody. This is a topic that we need to work on that. About the pro, even more. Reduce the time to market, the parallel stages in the design flow, and shortening the test phase at the end in the physical machine due to the reduction of the errors in the design phase, allow us to deliver early our machines to the clients. With Unreal Engine, we have type and quantity advantage. The simulation material in the behavior in production can be simulated better with more flexible tools. And very important, the quantity, we can simulate large plants without impacting the performance, and with some interesting savings in hardware and cloud investments.
And Martina, what about virtual training?
Okay. What's wrong? What can be improved in the virtual training? At first, costs, because now the production of training contents in virtualization are still too high. And sometimes this is the reason why customers doesn't want these solutions. And sometimes we can have also the possibility that clients don't get it. So the perceived value of the solution is different from the real value. So we have to work on the communication, and we have to guide our customer to the introduction of this type of service. What are the advantages? For sure, better trained operator and less after-sales intervention. But for me, the best part is the possibility to integrate, as Francesco mentioned before, our technology, so the virtual reality technology in the training, with the traditional one. And we can integrate all this technology with the learning management system of the client. Or, for example, if the client doesn't have one, we can also provide a platform to the client with all this technology. And the brilliant thing for me is that for the operator, for the final operator that has to do the training, all this process is transparent because it starts from one platform.
Okay. We got 3 minutes and 45, so we got to go quick, so we leave time for question. But please, which are your challenges? Because
as I said before, cost for sure. We have to work on the construction of a solid database. We have to reduce costs, integrating informations with business systems, and only in this way we can prepare the groundwork to apply before getting the technology.
Yeah, another point, is the IoT connection, about the technological challenges of IMA. IoT technology, yes, is a big project in course, and taking the data from the physical machine, we can train the algorithms on the virtual machine and improving our solution continuously based on this data.
Okay. So I will be super quick because we have very little time. We have our challenges as well, naturally, as applied group. We industrialized, we connect the PLC, and the Unreal is made for gaming. We're not sure we were able to connect Unreal Engine to the PLC of the machine. We did it. It's working and great. We have to optimize the production pipeline, naturally, always with the aim to cut down development cost. And connected to the previous point, we have to guarantee the interoperability of the asset among all the different products. Just to give you an idea of the timeline, on the upper side, we got virtual commissioning. On the lower side, virtual training. So what we did in the last quarter is to create micro tools for virtual commissioning in order to speed up the process of the development. We have a passive digital twin. It means that it can talk with the PLC, not the machine itself yet. About training, virtual training, we created the training procedure builder. So it's the part on the lower with all the assets that you can put together and create the course. And for the future, well, for virtual commissioning, we are testing the solution with other clients beside IMA, and it's working good as well, thanks God. For virtual training, on the last quarter of this year, we will create the modular asset system management. It's always connected on the ability to quickly create courses. And from the next year, we will work end of this year, next year, with the asset interoperability system in order to reuse all the assets on the different solution. And we will start with all the integration. We already did for digital training, for example, the LMS integration. It's working, but we have to industrialize it. And about virtual commissioning, we will integrate with all the enterprise system.
Yeah.
And finally, for virtual commissioning, we want to machine validation virtual model. And this is cool because you don't need a real machine. It's not certification, but it's a step forward. And for the virtual training, the PLC integration that will let us to do much better courses. And we hope really to make the difference with this new feature. And so thank you very much for your time. And if you have any question, we'll be very happy to answer. And here we are.
We have time for one question. Anyone? Yes.
Mr. Kelly.
Good presentation, guys. Just a quick one. In regards to the maintenance of this connection between your PLC and your DCS system, how do you make sure that there's a process put in place that when you upgrade that it reflects then?
Sorry, didn't get it. Can you speak more loud?
I think this.
I'm not super good with English, so sorry.
Sorry, no problem. So in regards to the connection with your HMI or PLC system,
Yep.
how do you ensure that it is maintained and the version control is done on that along with when you upgrade your virtual twin?
So I'm not a technician. I'm not sure I can answer to this question directly. I don't know if Aldo, you got the question. Puoi dirmi in italiano?
Yeah, we can. The target is to maintain the versions, of course, of the new side parts, of the new upgrade of the machine, FIMA, for example, with the content, the training content that we updated with also the HMI version. And this is a kind of service that IMA can sell to the clients. And of course, this is a target. But after, we can speak better in a few minutes if you want.
We are from Siemens, isn't it? You did the presentation before.
Yeah, Pfizer,
Okay,
yeah,
no,
is one of our main clients.
Sorry, no, exactly. No, but
Some machine in the video.
I arrived in the middle of the presentation.
A Pfizer machine.
What I was looking, we've got many similarities, and I think it's super cool what we're doing. You know, I don't know for you, but we really feel in the middle of a crazy journey where technology changes all the time. And we had a lot of failures trying to, to improve the things. We are happy so far, but we know that it will take time to get optimal results. And I think it's super cool. I mean, it's very challenging at the same time, but it's one of the biggest mega trend, I believe, with digital twin, AR technology, virtualization of the models. And so sharing ideas with you, I think it will be super, super cool.
Yes.
Let's build the feature together. We are all here for this. So thank you. Another round of applause for our
Thank you very
guests.
much.
Thank you.